House of Representatives. They needed 39 seats before the end of the night. The projection now is that from Fox News that the Republicans will indeed regain control of the United States House of Representatives, and that, on the House side, is that. Still many more races to call, but I want to get to our panel tonight. A distinguished bunch, actually just into Fox News, exit polls from across the country, and they're giving us an idea of what's driving voters to the polls. And we'll get to those in just a minute. The host of Fox News Sunday is with us, Chris Wallace. Nina Easton as well, a Fox News contributor. Stephen Hayes, a Fox News contributor, and all known from the Special Report and Fox News Sunday. Chris Wallace, an early call on the House of Representatives.
Yeah, and quite frankly, much earlier than we had been told that this was going to be called. And that's because it really does seem to be not only a wave election, but a tidal wave election. You and I talked earlier about 3 races in Indiana, Indiana 2, which is still too close to call, but Indiana 8. These were Democratic-held seats that were going to be kind of bellwethers. Indiana 8 has gone from the Democrats to the Republicans. Indiana 9 from the Democrats to Republicans. We're seeing senior Democrats all over the country in trouble. John Spratt, 28 years in the Congress, the chairman of the House Budget Committee. We haven't called the race yet in South Carolina, but he is in terrible trouble tonight. This is really looking as if it could go 50 seats, 55 seats. Just to put this in perspective, because I don't think we're making a big enough deal about this, 52 seats was the 1994 Republican Revolution, Newt Gingrich. We're talking, if it's north of that, this would be the biggest gain by either party since 1948, in more than half a century, when the Democrats gained 75 seats. We're talking about uncharted territory tonight, at least over the last half century.
And again, Fox News projects that the Republicans take over the House of Representatives before the night's end. Nina Easton, though, a very different scene on the Senate side. There were 10 opportunities tonight. The Republicans needed 10 pickups. They got 3 of them. And by our projections, they've missed 3 very important opportunities.
That's right. I think there's movements and there's candidates. You can have a movement. You can have the Republicans have all the intensity on their side in this election. The president is deeply unpopular. His policies are deeply unpopular, including health care reform. But what you need, even in front of that, is a really strong candidate. And I think in the case, Joe Manchin was a popular governor. His opponent wasn't strong enough. In Delaware, Christine O'Donnell, it turns out that Karl Rove, our colleague, was right. She wasn't a strong enough candidate. She's walloped at the polls. So I think as we see, and we're going to see that as we go west across the country, are some of these candidates actually strong enough on the Republican side?
And Steve Hayes, big picture, Tea Party candidates were going to play an important role tonight. Whether some won or lost was going to decide it all.
That's absolutely right. I mean, what was interesting to me was how quickly Fox was able to call the race for Rand Paul in Kentucky. I mean, polls going into the end of that race showed him up by a handful of points, but nowhere near what the